Hi guys, welcome to Yoga Lattes with SJ and to this low impact full body workout that you can do with absolutely no equipment. So we're just going to be starting here in a standing, so bringing the feet about hip width apart, and we are circling the right arm up and over and then circling the left arm up and over, and continuing with this, alternating from side to side. As you do this, making sure that you've got the belly button to spine, you've got a neutral pelvis, and you have got the ribs closed, shoulders down and away from the ears. Inhale as you sweep the arm up, exhale as you start to float the arm back down. You might start to follow with the gaze the arm as you sweep it all the way up, finding a nice rotation through the back of the neck and relaxing the jaw. Finding that core engagement as well as some length up as you inhale, lengthening up, and exhale as you start to float the arm down. Keeping the elbows relaxed so you're not bringing any tension there, and you are lifting up tall out of the feet all the way out the top of the head and lifting up out of that pelvic floor. So finding that beautiful long line, almost like a zip up through that center line. So inhale as you sweep the arm up, exhale, floating it over. Now we're staying here on this right side, bumping the hips out to the left and then pressing the hips back as you lengthen the arm all the way back up, and continuing here. So keeping your core engaged, shoulders away from the ears, and you are finding a really nice lengthening down of the fingers. And let's come to the other side. So you are reaching the left arm up as you bump the hips to the right, and then you are coming back through to that neutral again. Beautiful work, and staying here. Bringing the arms all the way down, inhale as you sweep the arms up, exhale as you come down through prayer. Starting to come down to bend through the right knee, then coming back up through center, and then bending through the left knee, coming to that side and coming back through center. With this, we really want to make sure we've got that core engaged, and you're just softly bending through that knee, and you are actually not really so much coming to that side. You are more imagining that you're coming down to press the hips back through that center line. Inhale as you come up, exhale as you come down. And we are just finding that beautiful long line from the top of the head all the way out the tailbone. So it's like you're trying to press the tailbone back to the back wall. And we are just starting to really warm up here and pressing back. Inhale as you come all the way up and staying here. Let's come down into a squat position. So you're just starting to drop the pelvis down almost as though you're sitting down into a chair. Bringing the hands onto the front side of the knees, and then you're bringing the chin to chest, rounding the spine, and then coming back up to that neutral. So untucking the tailbone as you start to bring the heart center forward, and exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, tucking the tailbone. Inhale, heart comes forward, and finding that beautiful neutral spine here. Nice, and keeping this going. So it's kind of a little bit like a cat-cow, but you're not really so much coming up too high. We don't really want to bring any tension into the back of the neck, so don't let the head sort of come back too far. Just finding some length through the back of the neck when you come up, and not really placing any weight into the knees either here. So we want to just have light fingers, light hands, and then next time you come down, we're just coming all the way back up, rolling the spine and coming back to your standing position. We're just going to start to bring the left leg out to the side and then placing the foot down, and then lifting the right leg up and coming to that left side. Leg lifts out to the side. Continuing with this, so we are finding a beautiful line out through that left side, and you're keeping your core engaged. We're finding an articulation of the foot, so really placing your weight evenly through the foot. And then let's come over to the other side, so starting to bring the right leg out to the side, lowering the foot, and then you are lifting the left leg up, trying to keep your pelvis really still. Your core is engaged the whole time. You've got a neutral pelvis. You're not tucking the tailbone under, and you're not pressing the tailbone back. You are breathing and finding length here, really feeling yourself being drawn up, almost like a string is pulling you up gently from the top of the head all the way to the sky. Nice. Let's come back through center. You're just starting to bring one heel forward as you bend through the other knee, and then coming to the other side. So as you continue with this, we are just finding that softness into that bent knee. It's just a little micro bend, and you are finding a really nice lengthening out of the back of the leg that's coming out. The toes are flexing back towards your face, and we're also keeping the hips really square to that side edge of your mat. Making sure that you're breathing here, and you might want to start to lift this up a little bit and maybe even swinging the leg all the way out, so it's almost like you are kicking out, but just making sure you're not locking out through the knee. We are still keeping softness into that knee and really using your glutes as well as your core to lift the leg. Now just kicking out to one side and then the other, and coming back through center and staying here. Now you are sweeping the arms over to the left side and then back through center, and then over to the right side, back through center. As you continue with this, alternating from side to side, you're keeping the hips square to the side edge of your mat. You're keeping everything still, so it's only the arms that are moving. Your gaze can follow, so just allowing the head to follow the arms and keeping your core engaged, keeping that neutral pelvis. So seeing if you can just twist from the belly button up, and shoulders are away from the ears, softness into the elbows. Inhale as you bring the arms up, exhale as you lower them back down through that center line. You can flow really freely with this, so really getting into what feels good for you. And we're bringing some strength here into the shoulders, into the arms. This time we're going to circle the arms all the way around, and then as you bring the arms over to one side, you're starting to step the toes out to that side and then coming to the other side. So continuing here, we're just finding that full rotation, keeping those elbows soft and keeping the pelvis really still, lifting up tall from the pelvic floor all the way up the top of the head. So really keeping that long line here, keeping strong, but also keeping softness into the knee joints, into the elbow joints, into the jaw, and having some fun here. Inhale, coming up, exhale, sweeping the arms all the way around. So good, you guys. Keep this going. You can move fast with this, you can go slower, going at your own pace always, so important. Nice. Let's come back through center, staying here. You're starting to just bring the feet together, bringing the hands together in prayer, and you are just starting to hinge forward at the hips, bringing the hands forward, and then you are just pressing those hips forward as you start to draw all the way up. Imagining almost as though you have a little box that you're placing down on the ground, and then you are lifting that all the way up overhead. We don't want to lock out those knees though, but you can have straight legs here, just softness into the knees, and the hips are just going back and pressing forward. So keeping that really beautiful line through the back. It's almost as though you're trying to lengthen the tailbone to the back wall here, and you're keeping the head and the rest of the back in the same line. So keeping that chin in a neutral. We're not bringing the chin down, we're not lifting the chin up. Shoulders are relaxed and away from the ears. We're really working here into the back of the legs, into the glutes, as well as the core. So using your core to really draw you up. Beautiful. Staying here, you guys, and let's start to walk the feet out a little bit wider, toes turned out, heels turned in, and you're starting to drop down into a squat, and then you're pressing back up to standing. So sitting all the way back into the heels and then starting to draw all the way back up. As you press up through standing, you're squeezing those inner thighs. So using the inner thighs as well as the outer thighs, just making sure that those knees are not going forward of the toes, and you've got those knees kind of tracking in line with the rest of the foot. So you've got the hips slightly turned out here, and we've got that beautiful line through the back, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed, pressing up as you power up, lowering down with control, keeping that strength here. Next time you come up, we're going to come up high onto the toes. So coming all the way up and then lowering the feet back down and then dropping back down into your squat. Keeping this going. So we're finding this really nice length through the back of the legs, the calf muscles, as well as the hamstrings. And just imagine imagining that you've got a really, really nice length all the way from the toes, all the way out the top of the head, sinking down and lifting up, staying strong. Keep this going, making sure those knees are not rolling inward and they aren't rolling outward. They're tracking directly in line with the rest of the foot, and doing so good, you guys. This is so good for you. You are going to get everything here, so much in this 20 minutes. This time we're going to start to stay here, and we're just going to start to lift one heel and then the other. So just starting to come over to one side, then the other. It's just one heel lift and the other, and keeping the pelvis in a really still position, keeping the hips pointing to the side edge of your mat. You've got the hips open here, and you're finding that really nice strength into the calf muscle, the back of the legs, and you might even feel this a little bit into the inner thigh, the groin. Just making sure that the shoulders are relaxed still. You've got the core engaged, you're breathing. Don't hold your breath here, moving at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. So important to breathe. And a few more here, and let's sink it down. Staying here, guys, and just starting to roll all the way down. Finding a beautiful forward fold, just letting everything go, maybe moving the head around, and then just rolling the spine, coming all the way back up to standing, palms facing forward. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale as you float the arms all the way back down. Inhale, sweeping the arms up, looking up. Exhale as you start to bring the arms all the way forward, rolling down and then rolling back up. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, coming up, finding length. Exhale as you roll all the way back down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, rolling down. And inhale, starting to roll all the way up, finding that stacking of the vertebra, just keeping this going in any way that feels awesome for you. It is all about you connecting into your body and just moving at your own pace, feeling into this, seeing what feels amazing for you. And then we're staying here, guys, just staying down in your forward fold, and you're just starting to just bend one knee and then the other, and then just letting the hips lift up really high towards the sky. You can have softness into the elbows here, maybe the hands come all the way down, or they might just be floating, and just taking some time here to find a neutral of the pelvis, also a neutral of your weight distribution through the feet. So we want everything to kind of find that center line. So you might just bend through one knee and then the other, and just kind of rock the pelvis around a little bit to find that neutral, to find that weighting evenly through both sides. And just finding some cleansing breaths here, in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. And then we're just starting to really kind of rock over to one side and then the other. So you're bending through one knee as you rock the pelvis over to that side, and then coming over to the other side. So keeping the hips lifted, keeping the hips square to the sky as you start to just bump the hips over to one side and then the other. So really finding that different side here, maybe just connecting into how this feels. You might start to just come back through center and just rock from side to side with this, maybe taking opposite elbow with opposite hand, or you might take hold of behind the knees or behind the feet, or maybe the hands come all the way down to the earth. And we're just finding a neutral pelvis. So you're just keeping the pelvis really still here, and it's just the head and kind of upper back that is moving here from side to side. So just a rock from side to side with that head as you keep the pelvis still. So keeping your weight even through both sides of the feet, keeping the belly relaxed, and then we're coming all the way over to one side and then the other, and coming all the way down to a kneeling position, so taking your time to come down to a tabletop position. And then we're just starting to find tabletop, so just making sure that you've got the knees in line with the feet as well as the hips, and you've got the shoulders in line with the hands. You've got length through the back of the neck, and you've got the tailbone in a beautiful neutral here. So we're just starting to round the spine, bringing the chin to chest and starting to tuck the tailbone, sitting back towards the heels with this tailbone tuck, and then inhale as you shift forward, coming back to your cat-cow. So we're just lifting the gaze, and then you're starting to sit back towards the heels, and then you are starting to shift forward again. So we're just starting to kind of find a circular motion with this. So as you start to shift forward, you bring the chin to chest, tucking the tailbone, and then as you inhale, lifting the gaze and slightly lifting the tailbone up as you sit back towards those heels. Just moving in a way that feels amazing. So it really doesn't have to look any specific way. It's all about connecting into your spine here and just seeing what it is that your spine needs, your body needs in this particular moment. It might be completely different to this. It might be coming completely off the tracks. You might even find yourself doing something completely different. It's all about exploring the movement, exploring how it feels in your body and really connecting into that stretch. And you might even just start to bend through the elbows as you start to come forward, lifting the gaze and lifting the tailbone. And then you might just tuck the tailbone as you start to bring the chin back towards the chest, finding that round spine as you start to press the mat away, and just continuing to flow freely. This should feel really awesome. There is no rules here. This is all about you finding what feels awesome for you, movement that is exactly perfect for you specifically. Connect into your core as well, really bringing the belly button back towards the spine as you find that rounding of the spine, that sort of C shape, tucking the tailbone under. And then next time you round back, we're just starting to roll all the way up, stacking the spine as you come up to a high kneeling position. So we're staying here, we're just finding that neutral pelvis. You can tuck the toes under if you want to for a little more support, or you can keep the top of the feet connected onto your mat. And just taking a moment here to just bump the hips over to one side, then the other, and then just starting to kind of find a neutral. So maybe tucking the tailbone under and then pressing the tailbone back, and then coming to that neutral, that space between those two spots. And then with that neutral pelvis, just starting to kind of find a little bit of movement here into the hips. It might be a figure eight, it might be just a circle around. And then we are just making sure that we've got that core engagement, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale as you bring the arms up, and we are starting to twist over to the left side, and then coming up with the arms through center, and then twisting to the right side. So you're just letting the arms come down almost into a T shape, letting the head track over the back arm. So you are gazing over that shoulder, coming back through center, and then coming to the other side. So as you continue with this, I want you to really try and focus on keeping the hips still staying quite square to the front of your mat, and you're really only twisting from the belly button up. So we're not really moving through the lower body at all. You're trying to find that really nice rotation through the waist, through the obliques, as well as just into the core here. Nice. And let's come all the way back through center, staying here, guys, and we're coming all the way down onto the forearms and just finding that core engagement. Gaze is straight down or slightly forward, so you've got length through the back of the neck. And then you're just starting to tuck the tailbone as you bring the top of the head towards your mat, and then you are coming to a neutral again. So just letting the gaze come forward, finding length through the back of the neck, and you've got a flat back. And then you are rounding the spine, chin to chest, as you find that beautiful C shape. So bringing the belly button to spine as you find that C shape, and then you're finding that beautiful neutral again. So you should be able to feel this in your shoulders and your arms as well, but we're also really connecting into the core here. So bringing your mind to notice as the belly button comes back to spine, as you find that rounding into the spine, bringing the chin to chest. And then we are staying here. You're going to find the right forearm crossing the mat. You're bringing your left hand onto your mat, finding that neutral here, and then you're pressing into that left hand as you start to sweep the right arm up. Gaze follows, and then lowering back down. So continuing here with this, I just want you to make sure that you're keeping everything else still. It is just a twist through the side waist, a twist and an open out of that right arm, and then let's come to the other side. So you are starting to drop that left forearm down, pressing into the right hand as you start to sweep the arm up. Gaze follows, and coming back, keeping that length through the back of the neck, keeping your core engaged, and finding that beautiful rotation, that beautiful stretch through the side waist, opening out through the front side of that left shoulder. Nice. Let's stay here, you guys, and just taking a moment here. Bringing the chin to chest and rolling the spine, coming all the way up. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. Exhale as you float the arms back down. And we're starting to sit back towards the heels, and we're going to find a child's pose. You can either have the knees together or you can bring the knees out wide. Starting to just sink the pelvis back even more towards the heels. Starting to lengthen the arms forward, maybe walking the hands forward, melting the heart, melting the forehead all the way down towards the earth, and just finding some really deep breaths in through the nose and out the nose or mouth. Just letting it go. Finishing here in this beautiful shape. You've done absolutely amazing today, you guys. You should feel so proud. Have a great day.